today for oh my God, not me saying Teach Me Tuesday, okay? Because I just got done tuning in to Danessa Myrick's Teach Me Tuesday. That's my favorite pro makeup artist. It is Black History Month. She is a Black woman. I love her. Anyways, y'all, my lips is ashy. Hold. I don't know where this came from. I dreamed of this last night, y'all, for today's video, because I was gonna do how to transform your foundation undertone for today's Pro Tip Tuesday. By the way, welcome back to another episode of Pro Tip Tuesday. If you're new here, every Tuesday I try to focus on like pro makeup artist tips and tricks, hacks if you will, to help the everyday makeup girly like you, maybe enthusiast, or even if you're a pro, hopefully these tips can be of assistance to you. Anyways, friend, we're here today to talk about creasing under eyes, okay? How to prevent that under eye from creasing, from looking cakey, all the things, okay? This is a very simple, I feel like, tips and tricks video. I feel like a lot of stuff, y'all, that I'm talking about, maybe, I know it's been shared before, of course, right? But like I said in my first episode, I'm credentialed, and not even just being credentialed, I have experience in this. I love to teach, educate on makeup. I am a certified, my fingers up there, my certificate, certified makeup artist as well, and I have some experience, okay? Anyways, child, I just feel like I want to give back into the makeup community, the makeup world, and just kind of give my own advice, my own teaching style on these different makeup topics. So I hope you can take this information, share it with a friend. I just want the information to be helpful to someone out there in the YouTube streets. Okay, let's start first, friends. So there are several tips I want to kind of give in regard to having an under eye that does not crease, right? Creasing and folds are natural on the eye, on the face, period, right? We're gonna zoom in. Okay, friend, we're all zoomed in. I will kind of go through first what I'm using for this tutorial, tips and tricks, if you will, of how to prevent under eye creasing. So the first things first, y'all, is a damp sponge. See how bouncy that is? It's damp, not wet. Damp, not wet, right? So it's not dripping even when I squeeze it with water. Very damp, okay? And I love these e.l.f. Beauty sponges. Very affordable. They used to be $3, child. I think they're still $3, if not $6. Anyways, a hydrating setting spray, or not necessarily setting spray, a hydrating facial mist spray. I'm using the Mario Badescu Rose Water Herbs and Aloe Facial Spray. Very important, major key, is a hyaluronic acid serum, right? I'm using the Ordinary brand, very, very affordable brand that's in Sephora, really good. Another very, very important product that you need, I would suggest, is an under eye moisturizer slash eye cream. None other than my favorite, okay? The Bobbi Brown Vitamin Enriched Eye Base looks like this. She has, of course, the iconic, the face base. Y'all know I love that stuff. I rave about it all the time. Got it on right now. That's why the skin looks so dewy and hydrated and plump. All the things, honey. I'm double filming today. I have a foundation to review after this, so we're gonna hop into the eyes first. Anyways, and of course, we need our concealers. That's by far the star of the show on today. Each one, I'll kind of go through and talk about the importance and why I like each concealer. And of course, a setting spray. I mean, setting spray, not setting spray, a setting powder, okay? A loose setting powder. I chose the Makeup by Mario, his Surreal Skin Soft Blur Setting Powder. It's the powder we're using today, and this is in shade Warm Honey, okay? You can also use a translucent shade. Just use a shade that's close to your skin tone if you're going for a natural under eye kind of a look, or either a more brightening under eye setting powder, a little bit lighter, right? Banana colored powder, something kind of along the lines of this. Is more tan-ish, right? More yellowy in undertone. That's more flattering, again, for my undertone. Anyways, we're not here for that today. We're here for the under eye and how to prevent creasing. All right, friends, so first thing first is, of course, to hydrate the face, right? So we're gonna go first with our facial spray, facial mist, whatever you wanna call it, from Mario Badescu. The key, y'all, to helping to prevent from having so much creasing, for cakey under eyes, to prevent that, hydration is key, okay? Hydration is key. Prepping the under eye before you go in with product, before you go into set, all of that is major key to longevity for a flawless under eye that's crease proof, creaseless, all the things, okay? So first things first, we're going to spray the face. Primarily, make sure you focus it, of course, the under eye. So Okay, I do the most because I love how this smells. This is a rose water, aloe, herb, all those things setting spray. Very refreshing. And not setting spray, facial spray. Okay. Very refreshing. I love that. All right, let it kind of dry down a little bit. I have a fan here, but the battery I think is dead. It is dead. So just let it kind of, you know, dry down. All right, friends, you can also go in and just kind of press that facial spray, facial mist into the skin, kind of push it in. We have that on. Step 2. Again, I told y'all hydration is key. A good serum, a good hydrating serum, anything that's hydrating, of course, right? We know that hyaluronic acid is a very hydrating property, a very hydrating skincare property. So I chose this ordinary hyaluronic acid serum to use underneath the eye as well, okay? So again, we're working in layers, and the key is to y'all, a little goes a long way, and then also allowing time for your skin prep, you know, items to kind of settle into the skin as well. So don't just pile these on back to back to back. Kind of allow the skin to really take in the product and it soak and seep into the skin. That way you'll be better prepped for your concealer. All right, so that's enough. Do both. All right, I love, love, love the serum. I'm just kind of really massage that in. It feels really good to y'all. Oh, I love the serum, so good. And the ordinary, y'all, is so inexpensive. From Sephora, very affordable, really great skincare line. Highly recommend. Okay, and I also do my lids as well because I want my eyelids to be hydrated as well, right? Because we also can have creasing, obviously, on the eyelids as well. From dry eyelids, you know, even though I don't really have that problem, mine are more so oily for the most part. I do kind of use my under eye products and bring them up to my lid, but once you kind of rub that in, massage it in, be looking up and just kind of press the product. Again, we're pushing the product into the skin, right? Make sure it really gets in there really good. Okay, it's pretty much pushed in for the most part. Just make sure you really press it in and give it time to kind of settle into the skin. I'm doing this video more so in real time, so I'm not allowing mine to sit as long as I should let it sit for the sake of filming purposes, but let yours kind of sit and seep into the skin before you move on to the next step. That is major key as well. Okay, so now that we've, you know, gone back, remember the first step, we've added our facial spray, our hydrating facial mist, if you will, to kind of add increased hydration before you even go in with the actual products, okay? That first, a hyaluronic acid serum, anything that's really hydrating. Of course, this is a very hydrating property, right? So I would recommend a good hyaluronic acid serum. You can use something like this, ordinary, or e.l.f. has a really good hydrating serum as well. It's from their Holy Hydration line, the Triple Bounce serum, something like that. Really great. I have that in my kit as well that I use on clients, but I either pull between this one or that one. Either one is fine. All right, so now we moved on to the third step, which is our under eye cream, or, you know, moisturizer, whatever you want to call it. I'm using, again, the Bobbi Brown, the vitamin enriched eye base. Okay, y'all, this eye base is the GOAT. Okay, this saves my life on multiple occasions, with my brows especially. It is so emollient, meaning it's really rich in moisture. It is kind of thick, right? But that's what we want for a good eye cream, because again, hydration again is key, major key. This also has vitamin C in it as well, so it's great for brightening, just really boosting and giving that nice juiciness and plumpness to the under eye. Okay, so again, like I told y'all, you don't want to go into, you know, your concealer, your powders with dry under eyes. That will accentuate and further bring on creasing. Okay, hydration is key. Also, a primer is built into this eye base as well, so, and that's even better, y'all, because the primer, of course, will keep the product in place a lot longer. It will also help the concealer we put over top this to actually grip and really just kind of stay in that place, right? Which is major key, again, as we get into this tutorial. Anyways, so this is how that under eye base looks. So creamy. It has a citrusy smell, so if your client or if yourself, if you're sensitive to citrusy smells, I don't recommend this one. They have several other eye bases, eye creams you can use, of course, that are not scented, but this one's just my staple. Now, I do add this one on the back of my hand like this to kind of get it warmed up, if that makes sense, into the skin, so that when I apply it, it's not going on cold or hard, kind of how it is in its original state like this. That's how it looks. Focus, yeah. So I kind of take it and just kind of already massage into my hand pretty much. So when I apply it, it's already nice and kind of ready to seep into the skin, if that makes sense. So it's kind of pre-prep before applying it to the under eye, okay? Another thing, all right, how much of this you use matters, okay? Believe it or not, people think that more is what makes it not crease. That's not the case, okay? Less is more with makeup, okay? Less is more with longevity, especially in the delicate under eye area. This is a very thin layer of skin underneath here, right? And as you can see, we have natural folds, natural creasing in the under eye already. I have them visibly, okay? Right here. You can kind of lift it down and see, you know, that's where my natural under eye crease is, right? So creasing is a part of the skin. It is normal, once again, let me reiterate that. It is normal to have under eye creasing, right? It's naturally there on the skin, right? What we do in makeup is we help to further not accentuate the crease, to help to prevent from having makeup to look creasy, you know, onto the face, under eye, wherever. So, you know, we can do what we're supposed to do in regard to making makeup crease proof or creaseless, but eventually we all have creasing on the eyes. So this is not gonna be something that's gonna last forever, right? Just being honest, right? Unless you just have flawless, poreless skin, you don't have any creases, period, you know, all of that, that young skin, they got that. But as we start to age, ladies, we start to lose collagen in the skin. So our skin is not as tight and plump and just, you know, youthful as it once was. It's a lot more loose. I don't want to say saggy, but a lot more loose and more dry, right? Which is why these steps are crucial. Hydration is major key. Less is best. If you take nothing else from this video, remember, less is best, hydration. Let's go ahead and add the eye cream. Ring finger, by the way, okay, look up and really just kind of get that product in there. And I recommend using a good eye cream just in general, right? Because that also helps with just over time skincare in the under eye area. I use a good eye cream for both day and night. This one can be used for both day and night, even though vitamin C is in this. You know, I typically don't use a vitamin C eye cream at night, you know, but sometimes I will, you know. And the primer that's in here, y'all, you can just feel the tackiness, you know. So you know whatever you put down here, it's gonna stick, it's gonna grip. It ain't going nowhere, it ain't gonna move. And that's what we want. On top of it being hydrating, right? And once I kind of rub it in, I'll kind of go back in and kind of tap. And by tapping, we're just really pressing that product into the skin. All right, friend, so we're done with those 3 steps. First, our hydrating facial mist. Secondly, our hydrating serum, hyaluronic acid, whatever you have for a hydrating serum. The next thing, of course, is our eye cream. Now we're on to start the show, which is our concealers, okay? Rule of thumb, major tip, I would say, from a pro MUA standpoint is I would not go in with the mattifying concealer. I know, you know, there's some great ones on the market here. I think, is it One Size? Has a pretty good matte concealer. Anyways, I don't reach for matte concealers. That's just me. It's not my jam, not my ministry, all right? If you do that, cool. There's no, you know, again, rules, but this is just what's gonna give you the best, most flawless, most crease proof, most creaseless under eye is hydration again, right? So you can use anything from a hydrating concealer to a natural finish concealer or even a luminous finish concealer, right? So all those kind of concealers are gonna add that hydrating factor that we need to the under eye. The thing to remember is I do not recommend a matte concealer for your under eye. We do not want dryness on the under eye. In our mind, we think that, well, that's gonna help with longevity, my under eye look flawless, it won't crease. No, you know, that's gonna further creep into those creases, essentially, and it's gonna settle. It's gonna look cakey, okay? Now, I will say, you know, if you're more advanced, there's ways to work around having a matte concealer, okay? All these steps will help. Essentially, if you were to choose a matte concealer, it'll help with not having it to look so cakey, so dry, because we did all those nice hydrating steps prior to putting on a matte concealer. These are the steps, y'all, that I would recommend just as a professional to help with under eye longevity, to help essentially with not having creasing as soon, as fast, to not have such a cakey looking under eye. Hydration, again, I can't say it enough, is key. Anyways, friend, I poured the Fenty Beauty the Wear Even Hydrating Longwear Concealer, this concealer. A moment for her, okay? She's amazing. Love this, y'all. I have a review of this concealer on my channel when it dropped. What's wrong with my camera today? what's going on? Anyways, when it dropped, I reviewed this. Amazing. Oh my God, I'm almost done with this. I can see it now in the light. Anyways, amazing concealer, y'all. Very, very hydrating for the under eye. These are the concealers I would recommend. Hydration, right? Another one that's really good for hydration, I would say, of course, Danessa Myricks, the Lift and Flex Concealer. This also has correcting properties in this one as well. Love this concealer. Concealer like this I would use for the under eye. Amazing. It's not matte. This was more of a natural finish. In my opinion, it's more of a natural finish. I don't want to say it's hydrating. It is, but it's marketed, I believe, as more of a natural finish concealer. A review as well is on my channel of this concealer. Love that concealer. Another one I love and I stand for, y'all, I use it all over the face several times for just like a foundation, honestly, is the Lancome, the Tint Idol Ultra Wear, the all over concealer. Whew, amazing. Top tier. This is a natural finish concealer as well as the Sephora Best Skin Ever. I pulled this one from my kit, the Best Skin Ever Full Coverage Concealer. This one is definitely a natural finish, and it says here natural on the actual packaging. I pulled this, y'all, from my actual pro makeup kit. I use this on my clients. All of these concealers I have, they're so good. So full coverage, right? Full coverage, if that's what you're going for, I would recommend by far this. Okay, affordable, she good. Get this. Another one I do like, y'all, that I do find sometimes to be more on the drying side. I almost want to recommend it and I almost don't, because it kind of goes against what I just said. But I use it because I know how to work with it and how to just make it work for me. Okay, the Makeup by Mario, I just love it so much. The Surreal Skin Awakening Concealer. I will say this is definitely not necessarily hydrating. I would not classify it as a natural finish concealer either. To me, it's more on the, I feel like, more on the satin side. It's a little bit of, you know, moisture in it, and it's also mattifying because it dries down super fast, very fast. Okay, so that alone lets me know that it's definitely more on the, I don't want to say drying side, it's just going to be more on the matte side, right? So that's what I mean by having a matte concealer and kind of making it work with these tips I'm giving you. Okay, so if you have a matte concealer and you have dry skin and you're going in with the matte concealer and wondering why your under eye is creasing or looking cakey, that's why. Because you're putting matte on top of something that's dry on top of dry, basically, right? So definitely take these tips I'm giving you in regard to having a more hydrated under eye, right? Prepping the under eye first before going in with a matte concealer, if that's your jam, okay? But for us today, we're not going to use a matte concealer. No, we're going to use a hydrating concealer because, again, hydration, like I keep telling y'all, is key. Hydration is key. So we're going to use the Fenty Beauty, the We're Even Hydrating Concealer today for our under eye demonstration. All right, kind of move this around a little bit, shake it up, because I haven't been using her as much. I like her, but I've been using the Danessa Myricks like crazy. All right, so friend placement, again, matters. Only put your concealer where you need it, okay? The concealer, you know, I hate to say the rule part, I hate saying it with makeup, right? Because I feel like makeup is expressive, it's specific to people and their, you know, whatever they like, basically, right? But the whole triangle under eye, I don't do that. Even before they had the dot trend, I was doing the dot trend because I know that less is best. Once again, it does not take a whole lot of anything to get something done, okay? Especially when it comes to the under eye, right? The more product you put there, the more likely it's gonna settle, the more likely it's gonna crease, the more likely it's gonna look cakey, right? So you don't need all that concealer, friend, for real. I hate to break it to you, you really don't need that much, okay? Placement matters. And a lot of folks say, well, I use a lot because I have dark spots, I'm trying to cover all that up. That's a whole nother topic for another Pro Tip Tuesday. You should not be using excess concealer to cover up dark spots. That would not cover it, okay? Unless the concealer is like this Danessa Myricks, where it has corrector properties built into it, then sure. Because this day and age, they have all kind of products now. But essentially, you need to be color correcting first, okay? That's what's gonna cancel out that darkness that you're seeing. The concealer will only just add to, it's not gonna cancel the darkness. It's not meant to do that, okay? So that's first thing first, okay? So anyways, less is best and placement matters. So I only add this where I need it. And as you can see, where I wanna look concealed, more lifted, so to speak, where I have more life, I'm gonna add that right in the inner corner, if that makes sense. Not inner corner, the inner part of the eye right here, right? And again, placement matters, okay? So I would not add this concealer right here, okay? No, because what that would do is, as you can see, if I were to add it, where's my brush? If I were to add it like right here, right here, okay? my creasing is already like right here, basically. All right, that little fold is right there. So by adding this concealer right here, it's gonna automatically just kind of settle right into this crease, okay? I don't wanna do that, okay? These are just tips as a pro that I can give to you when it comes to placement that matters, okay? So don't apply your concealer right in the crease, okay? Because you're already kind of like setting it there, pretty much, okay? So yeah, we're gonna blend it essentially, but again, a little bit goes a long way. We're gonna spread it, okay? So what I recommend is I apply mine lower and I blend and buff upwards towards the lash line, if that's the look I'm going for. Sometimes I leave it bare because I may go in with eyeshadow for a more smoky under eye anyways, or I want to look natural, so I don't necessarily add the concealer or blend up to my lash line. I'll leave it naturally kind of bare because it looks more natural that way, okay? So again, placement, add it right there, okay? And that's really enough for this concealer for real, but I'll add a little bit more. You can do the 3-dot method, but this is enough, okay? I recommend using a damp beauty blender, beauty sponge, whatever you may have. I recommend y'all using a sponge because it gives more of a natural finish, right? And if you put down too much product, if you make a mistake and do that, the sponge will eat up a lot of the excess product. And what that does is it gives it more of a natural, right, creaseless look, because again, what we said, less is best. You don't need all that concealer underneath the eye, okay? What it's gonna do is it's gonna settle into those fine lines, those creases. It will settle. It will look cakey. It will look creasy. It will look like it's separating because for one, you added too much, right? And it didn't take all that. So again, a sponge will kind of soak up a lot of that excess product. Also, your fingers are really great blending tools as well because for one, they're great for getting right into those hard to reach areas, like right in this area right here, right? And your hands are warm. So it further gives the concealer more of a natural, like, pressed in, kind of lived in look, right? And that's essentially the goal. You want to have a natural looking under eye. In my opinion, a more natural under eye kind of will give you that creaseless look, right? That crease proof look, because you don't have on so much product. I'm not saying you can't go in with the whole, you know, full on highlighted, super blended under eye. You can do that and have it to look creaseless. Again, these steps I told y'all are what's major key. Is the prep that went into that under eye before adding all of that product and all of that powder, okay? Just saying. So let's go ahead and blend this out. And again, we're only keeping the product where we need it. This does not have to go all down here. The old school triangle, like literally putting concealer from here, here to here, the triangle, we ain't got to do all that, friend. Keep it where we need it, okay? And if you want to blend up to the lash line, you can do that. I just don't really blend that far up because I don't need it there, honestly, right? I just want to have it directly like under my eye. I'm not going to add as much product up towards where we have the natural creasing in our eye, right? Because it will just settle and just kind of sit there and it'll look super creasy. So let's blend. Pinch your sponge like this. Notice how I'm blending, okay? I'm not saying the product won't go into that area because it will, but I left the majority of the product where I placed it. I didn't just take all that product and just add it right into my creasing area, basically. I'm taking what's left, the excess, and kind of blending that in that area. If that makes sense, I hope it does. Pinching it and kind of getting right up in here. And just like that, friends. Simple. Do you see how this concealer has worked this magic already? Mm-hmm. Yeah. Lifted. Brighter. I know you see it. Mm-hmm. And you can build this concealer, y'all. With any concealer you can build to kind of get that coverage. If that's what you're going for, you can build it to get the coverage where you want it. Anyways, so once we've added our concealer, we go in with our translucent, whatever you may have, banana powder, your loose setting powder. And again, I'm using the Makeup by Mario, the Surreal Skin setting powder. A little bit of this goes a long way, okay? I'm gonna go ahead and get a little bit of that powder, literally the lightest amount, into my top here. Again, what we said, less is best. That is major key. It does not take a lot of setting powder, okay? And the reason why we don't need a lot of setting powder is because we did not use a lot of the product, right? That makes it look more natural, more seamless, right? We have less settling. Also, make sure you press in your product, your concealer first before you go in and set it, because if you put this powder over top and it did settle, it's gonna basically set the crease in place. So make sure you look up, buff, and blend out the concealer further first before you go in with a very light dusting of setting powder. Whether you use loose or pressed, I prefer to use loose when setting. And if I bake, I go in with like a pressed powder sometimes. All right, so I'm gonna go ahead and take my sponge and kind of look up and blend again. And kind of like look up. It looks crazy, but it helps. Take a brush. I like to use more of a flared out, fluffy brush to kind of set my under eye with. This is a Real Techniques brush. Take that brush into your powder. Okay, take it and tap it off, because again, we don't want to apply a lot. Okay, take it, lightly press it in. And sometimes, y'all, another tip I have is I do a pressing and rolling movement with my clients. Like a press and roll, press and roll, press and roll. That further just kind of really pushes that powder, that product into the skin and gives it more of a like flawless, natural, like blurred airbrush kind of a look. Taking that powder again, a little bit more. Very thin layers again. And look at that, oh, it's such a good powder. Now this powder is amazing. It's definitely blurring what it says it does. It does. A very loose, finely milled powder is what I would recommend. Anything from the Laura Mercier, you know, the GOAT, them setting powders are good. The Mario, Makeup by Mario, of course, is good. Charlotte Tilbury, I love, love, love those for the under eye as well. And do you see that? Right? So again, we have folds underneath the eye, okay? That's gonna naturally be there, friend. I'm not a plastic surgeon. That's what I tell my clients when they say, can you make this disappear? I'm like, I can't erase years of not taking care of your skin. I don't do that. But what I can do is help to prevent from having this to look so creasy and cakey, okay? And all these tips I gave y'all are what's gonna help to have that under eye to look flawless like this. To look like we literally have nothing on for real, right? Like it looks brighter, of course, because over here we have nothing for comparison. This is my natural skin, obviously, compared to over here. Okay, it still looks like flawless, natural. I can see my skin peeking through because I used a very, very light layer of everything. The concealer, the powder, that's the look I'm going for today. And that's what I recommend you do if you're going for a crease-less look, okay? A crease-proof look. Even if you go in with several passes of concealer, powder, all that kind of stuff, make sure you are prepping your under eye. Make sure you are doing all the things I did in this video, okay? Setting it, that's, oh my God, the last thing, setting it, okay? So we started first with, of course, the spray, just kind of prepping the face with the spray. Go in with that same spray, whether it be a facial spray like this, hydrating mist, or your actual setting spray. And I love this Makeup by Mario, y'all. This is so good. His, what is this called? The Surreal Skin Soft Setting Spray. It's definitely more of a natural finish setting spray. This setting spray is the GOAT. Live it down, okay? I'm gonna use that as a matter of fact. It doesn't matter just as long as you're using a hydrating setting spray. So kind of take that. Let it dry down. What that's gonna do is lock in that under eye, okay? It's gonna further lock everything in. It ain't gonna move, it ain't gonna budge. That also helps, another tip, obviously, that also helps with locking in the product, helping it to not crease, to not look cakey, because we use a natural hydrating setting spray, okay? It's not a matte setting spray. This, flawless. You can also take, if you want, go back in and kind of press in that setting spray with your sponge. Not me got eye boogers, y'all, hold on. All this time, y'all even say now. Anyway, so yeah, that's what I recommend to anybody that's looking to prevent under eye creasing. What did we say, class? Comment below the main points that I said to take away from this video. They were, again, less is best, okay? Obviously, hydration is key, major key. Okay, I hope, friend, that this was helpful to you. If it was, do like the video, subscribe, share this video with a friend that may need this help as well, honey. Come back here every Tuesday for Pro Tip Tuesday. Also, comment below, y'all, more things you would like to see for Pro Tip Tuesday. Let me know what things you struggle with, okay? That's what I'm here for, to give you my expertise, my knowledge, all those things, y'all. I enjoy these videos to the fullest, okay? I enjoy it to the fullest, okay? I will be back on Friday. You can actually see this look in action. I'm filming after this video a new foundation drop. Come back on Friday to see this finished look. Until the next video, friends, I will see y'all next time. Bye.
Living my life like it's golden. Living my life like it's golden. Living my life like it's